I did the Myers Briggs test for Solas, and the results I got were really interesting. Shout out to Tim from my Discord server who suggested doing this for our rooks because I thought this was such a good idea. For Solas, I got the Architect, which is INTJT, which is 61% introverted, 78% intuitive, 75% thinking, 63% judging, and 65% turbulent. But it got really interesting when I looked at the detailed description. This is from 16personalities.com. A pioneering spirit, INTJs question most things, relying on conventional wisdom. They aren't afraid to break rules or risk disappointment. In fact, they rather enjoy it. A new idea isn't worth anything unless it actually works, which I think relates a lot to how Solas acts with the Grey Wardens. They don't mind acting alone, have no problem making decisions without anyone else's input, and have lone wolf behaviour, which fails to take into consideration other people's thoughts, desires. A mistake, however, to view INTJ personality types as uncaring as they feel deeply, which again, I think fits so well for Solas. They are personally affected by when things go wrong and spend so much time and energy trying to figure out why these things happened the way they did, which he's just always filled with doubt and regret. INTJs can be both the boldest of dreamers and the bitterest of pessimists. The boldest of dreamers. Cynical about human nature, more generally assuming that most people are lazy, unimaginative, or simply doomed to mediocrity. Much of their self-esteem comes from their knowledge and their mental acuity. Has to be the smartest person in the room. The chess game of life rely on strategy rather than chance, and they can find a way to win. Literally does a chess game with balls. Come on. They tend to be rational. They pride themselves on the power of their mind. Informed. They need to stand up for their ideas in the face of disagreement. And independent. They don't want to conform and see it as mediocrity. Determined, won't rest until they've achieved their own definition of success. Curious, skeptical by nature, people with this personality type are drawn to offbeat or contrarian points of view. And original, this personality type has a rebellious streak and is responsible for history's most conventional ideas and inventions. The veil. Weaknesses. Arrogant, can blind themselves to useful input from other people, especially anyone they deem to be intellectually inferior. Dismissive of emotions, which can cause its own type of bias, and they tend to be overly critical. This criticism can be unfair and based on arbitrary standards rather than full understanding of human nature. They can be combative, hate blindly following anything without understanding why. Socially clueless, they can be cynical about the value of relationships and altogether questioning the importance of love and connection. Speaking of love, the woes of dating. INTJs value depth, intelligence, and unmitigated honesty, and if a relationship can't be founded on that, it isn't worth pursuing. So if he has to continuously lie to you all the time, he'd rather leave. It would be a mistake to think that they don't have feelings or those feelings don't run deep, and love is rarely easy. Through their relationships, they can learn to focus on the present, get in touch with their emotions, and remain involved with other people. When it comes to friendships, they're looking for an intellectual match. They'd rather spend time alone than with someone who irritates or bores them, and they have a knack for finding friends in seemingly unlikely places, like the Fade. Sarcasm and witty banter may not be for everyone. These personality types are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought this was really interesting and I thought it fit really well. Let me know what you think any of the Dragon Age personality types would be. I thought this was really fun.